Hello everyone, PallyTime here, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Did you know that Abathur actually has two ultimate abilities? Ultimate Evolution seems like the go-to in nearly every game. It's picked in almost 60% of all matches over the course of the last 4 patches. That's a very big sample size. However, even though it's much less popular, the evolved Monstrosity does seem to have a slightly higher win rate. Now, I don't think you can make this work in every game, but I had a good feeling about this one. I hope you guys enjoyed today's match. If you do, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you again with more Abathur very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Garden Terror map today. The friendly team Abathur, Lucio, Sonya, Vala, and Diablo. The enemy team, May, Sergeant Hammer, Ana, Mephisto, and Kira. Wow, very agile team in some instances and extremely stationary in others. This will be an interesting match. I'm actually going to burrow up to the top lane right away. Our Q ability is the top hat. It allows me to put a little buddy on our buddies and help them be more effective. With the enemy team having a Sergeant Hammer, we shouldn't be too surprised if we do see them try to proxy a tower down. But no, in fact, we see them in the middle here. So I am really fond of builds that protect our front line with Abathur. But there's a case to be made for getting attack speed in this game because that benefits Sonya, that benefits Vala, and it could even benefit Diablo depending on the build that he goes. Now, the top hat is a global ability, so I can use it from anywhere. And with the changes to XP a few years back, this is the main way that you soak XP now on Abathur rather than body soaking, as far as I can tell. The enemy team is pushing up real hard, and Diablo's super low against the wall, but with the help of Lucio and myself, manages to wither the storm. Let's put some mines down top lane. The enemy team hasn't soaked this lane at all just yet, which is very nice. I think I am going to pick up the shield here, and then we're going to get attack speed at level 4. I think that's the plan. I talked myself into it. I have decided. There might be a world where it's acceptable to go mine build and just put those underneath the Sergeant Hammer every opportunity you get, but I'm just not in the mental state to be the guy that's playing mind build today. Oh, it's so toxic. Ugh, so toxic. Sonya going for a mercenary camp right now as they spawn. Diablo taking a beating as Sergeant Hammer continues to slowly crawl forward. But once again, this enemy team is completely negating the XP of the top lane. So we should pull ahead very, very easily if they continue to fight like this. The friendly team did go for that mercenary camp, but it looks like this situation is evolving. I'm going to put some mines down on the potential escape route that this enemy team has to make, but it looks like 4 of them are deep within our jungle right now as the first objective is spawning. So I'm going to scurry over here. We'll put another mine down in the middle. That was a little too close to the tower. It looks like they've been beating up this tower pretty well. We might be able to mule that up, but it might be a little too late, too. Sonya going in with 2 big kills here as the objective is just getting underway. It also looks like potentially Sergeant Hammer going for a mercenary camp pickup on the northwest side of the map here. That's not going to benefit her too much. With the objective getting started, I'm just going to fall back a little bit in the top lane, make sure I am safe as this wave is approaching. That's my #1 priority. We should be able to get a fairly easy channel here. And then I'm going to ping for some assistance up at the top lane because killing stuff like this can be a little problematic with the top hat. But it looks like the wave pushed up relatively well. Val is here to help out anyway, so we are good. But there we go. There's Hammer continuing the push in the top lane. Can we... I'm not in range of that, right? I think we're chilling. That is kind of scary as it's moving in, though. Mines underneath Sergeant Hammer. She can attack them if she chooses to do so. We're going to need some more help up here, so I'm just pinging for it right now as the siege of the top lane continues. Will Diablo answer our prayers? It doesn't look like it. Sonya's on the way. Will the wall hold that long, though? I have another shield for Vala. There's just so many minions in between here. We're not even able to get to the mercenary camps in the back. There we go. Fantastic Diablo engage, pushing Hammer into the wall. We're going to scurry down to bottom lane now and try to keep this moving in the right direction as well. Let's remember there's XP middle. Try to grab that really fast. and then walk this on back. Now, for this team fight, we are going to have access to the mule, so we'll repair the top lane while they're distracted down here. Try to shield our Vala, who almost got stunned inside of that May Blizzard. The friendly team is level 7, the enemy team only level 6. We should be committing to this fight with everything that we have, and right as we say that, Diablo goes in. We'll give him a shield and try to mitigate some of that Kira damage coming his way, but that Sergeant Hammer sitting in the corner is very difficult to move back, isn't it? I can get some more XP if we need to. I'm just trying to pass some shields around. It looks like we were not able to fight off those guys. They were really encamped on that point. Now, once we hit level 10 and we can start gaining access to our ultimate ability, beautiful combo into the wall by our Diablo. Once we gain access to our ultimate ability, our team fight will get a bit better. Or what I might do in this particular game, because these guys aren't paying attention to their lanes even a little bit, we might go with the Monstrosity and just try to push out lanes and take advantage of the fact that they are so slow with that Sergeant Hammer on their team. Now, their strategy might change as my strategy changes, but I have a hunch that we'd be pretty good at pushing. Let's just shield up our Sonya up at the top lane, make sure these buildings stay repaired. Middle lane's kind of getting beat up at the same time. I wouldn't say that Mule is like super necessary on this map. There are definitely some maps where I think you have to pick Mule because the objective siege damage is so important. The objective is starting to spawn. It is here. I don't think we hit 10 first. I think we just move right in and start getting it. I'm going to get some free damage on this Kira from my top hat here as she tries to contest middle. I'm also going to put some mines down here to finish off this wave and then burrow up top to just grab that XP with my body. Now, as Diablo approaches, let's make sure that we shield him and assist him. Meanwhile, on the top lane, I'm helping this push with my Locust just passively. Great damage onto the enemy team's Ana. She got deleted almost instantly. Sergeant Hammer with some good positioning on the other side of this wall is making it hard to move in, but then Diablo's like, nah, bruh. I got this, bruh. I'm going in, bruh. Level 10 is here. I'm going to take Monstrosity, break my top hat, and put that up here in the top lane. Now, we should be able to take this building without them even noticing. I do have to pay attention to the Monstrosity. It can get aggro. We can lose it. It also has this thing where as it kills enemies, it gets more and more stacks, so it becomes more of a lethal threat itself. But as the enemy team tries to move in to defend... Oh, I forgot I was here. But as the enemy team tries to move in to defend this building, we can just babysit it a little bit. I believe we can get a burrow on this as well, but is that at level 20? I don't remember the specifics of this. Either way, the enemy team came up to the top lane to deal with that, and that's a-okay with me. The level 20 upgrade increases Monstrosity attack. So can I burrow it now? It's been so long since I've used this thing. I just thought this would be such a great example. Diablo is taking some tower shots down to the bottom lane. Let me shield him up. Let's not forget we have our mule, and this building is looking super duper hurt. So I'm even going to give it an extra shield just until that mule arrives, and it can start repairing it. Beautiful. The objective is up at the top of the screen, and the enemy team is already in position. We're very slow on this one. I'm going to try one mine. I don't think it's going to work. We gave up that whole objective. Why? That was our fight to win. We had heroics and everything. Now the next one's going to be very difficult because the enemy has heroics as well. Well, we'll put some mines over here at the top. I need assistance in the top lane as Sergeant Hammer has arrived. Will they be able to get here in time? I'm not sure. I'm going to help out with this fight instead. We do have the mule to keep the main building alive. Losing those towers is not a huge deal. And I believe that their tank just scurried up to the top lane. So I'm going to move down here into this push. Meanwhile, we're back on Sergeant Hammer. So let's get in some damage there. Perfect. One more mine to slow this wave down, if possible. Ooh, get out of there. We're fine. Next objective is going to be here by us as Sonya takes down that top building. We're starting to dent up the enemy team's buildings quite a lot. Meanwhile, our tower is looking pretty healthy. We're going to help out the other one too with another mule. 15 seconds on this objective. We are going to need everyone there. We see Mephisto leaving the top lane right now, so I'm going to take over one of the archers and just have my Monstrosity push that while we're dealing with the objective. I can press R to just become this thing. I didn't know that. I used to, like, mini-map top hat this thing. I was playing way too difficult, apparently. We're going to get our AoE heals, our allies, every time we use our W. We have a good front line for that with Sonya and our Diablo, so as they go in, we'll be able to protect them. Our Monstrosity's doing great up top. Here's a top hat for Sonya, as I thought she was... There we go! Look at that Apocalypse as well! These guys are completely locked down. Sonya spinning to win, and the damage on Ana was too high. She will be taken down. Awesome initiation. You guys were super fucking patient with that. That was really nicely done. We're going to mule middle just to make sure that stays alive, and then check up on our Monstrosity. That's pushing the top lane right now, too. Look at that. That's beautiful. Now, I should be able to constantly get XP in the middle lane and the top lane with my top hat right as those minions die. I need to pay extra careful attention to that. The objective just took aggro off of me with these towers, giving me a little bit longer. We see the enemy team's Ana moving up. I'm going to burrow my guy straight to the middle lane now. And shield this up and continue the push here. I'll basically just keep moving my Monstrosity around to areas this enemy team is not paying attention to, and hopefully my hunch about being able to split push in macro will be worth it. Now, I will say, in most games, you want to take Ultimate Evolution, especially when you have a phenomenal target like this Vala here, because the Ultimate Evolution not only gives you increased attack power, it also gives you increased ability power. So I'm going to hit harder with not only my auto attacks, but my spells as well, than my own Vala is likely to hit. We're going to take over the Monstrosity for a second. He does have 35 stacks, so his damage will be high. Great push into the enemy team spawn allows us to take down Kira, and the enemy team Sergeant Hammer soon after. Now, I'm just going to take my Monstrosity and walk it up here to the top lane. We'll keep our eye on it. It's doing really well. We can give it a boost of movement speed with our level 16 talent, and that will work for anyone that we put our top hat on throughout the game. The bottom push is looking really good. Let's make sure we're getting this XP as it continues. And the reason I'm not helping middle right now is I have a great opportunity to get more XP than the enemy team even has a chance of, because they're all defending middle lane. Like, this is my part of the game where I get to race uncontested. Now, of course, as I say that, 2 members of the friendly team did just die, so I guess I was being a little optimistic. We're just going to shield our Monstrosity and get it out of there ASAP. If Mei wants to chase me, I think I beat Mei in a 1v1. I'm pretty sure I do anyway. She doesn't have any damage. All right, I'm going to walk this guy over to the camp that I think Diablo's going for and just help him take it down. As long as my Monstrosity is in combat, it'll stay there without me really needing to babysit it. And that should give Diablo a lot of the DPS he needs to do this. Now, this guy, the Monstrosity does have a stacking buff, so once you get it stacked, you do want to keep it alive. That is a very high priority for me. But it's also getting a lot of value just splitting all of the time, too. I could bring it into this fight if we wanted. I don't think that's a bad thing to do at all. And I've been healing it up pretty well, too. Are they protecting that Merc camp? They sure are, so I can't commit to going in too much. I'm just gonna wait. I'm actually giving my team vision of all of these guys at the same time. And that's a pretty good use of my Monstrosity, too. Just as they're coming around the corner. Okay, friendly team got the channel uncontested. That's beautiful. I'm going to try to move down the bottom lane because the enemy team isn't paying attention to it. Monstrosity is doing just fine. Let me slap this down. Actually, Kira showing up down here, so I won't be able to stay. But I'll at least get in a few slaps. Where's my Monstrosity at now? I got to check in on him. Can I hearth him? Oh, that'd be good. Can I sippy cup him? Sure can't. He's going to have to stay alive on his own. We'll just keep periodically top-hatting and shielding him. Here's my plan. I've got to just, like, shield him, move him back, break my shield, and let him walk through the lane again. And we'll just keep doing that. Diablo has spotted the enemy team. Let's go ahead and try to help him. Let me mule something just to get it off cooldown. They're not really damaging too many of our buildings at the moment, though. Meanwhile, the Monstrosity can push down middle lane and get us even closer to level 20. If this fight is about to break out, I do kind of want to bring this in. Sergeant Hammer's range is getting bigger. Let me shield our Vala here. It's looking pretty sketchy. Stun onto the Apocalypse. Great job by Diablo and Vala in position to finish him off with that damage. Now, I did just lose my Monstrosity in this fight, but I think it was totally worth it to make sure that our Vala stays healthy. Speaking of which, we do see Kira going in on our Lucio, taking them down with the spin. And that fight's looking kind of... Oh, I didn't lose him. There he is. Come on, little buddy. You're doing great. Get that building. Wait, I might be able to sneak this. I keep taking aggro off of the minions, though. I really need the minions to tank. That's not fair. That's not fair. Stop doing that. The enemy team did get their first objective, and it is going to not get too much value in any lane other than bottom, just because of the way our lanes are set up right now. I hope my Monstrosity doesn't die. Hey, we kept it alive. And I guess I should probably just focus this objective down here. Never mind, the enemy team's Ana moving out from her base, trying to chase me down. Let me reposition this thing through the shadow. I can't imagine she's going to chase it for any meaningful amount of time. Bottom lane's getting pushed by the enemy team. I could put a mule down there, but that's just going to be a waste of a cooldown because that is going to die. I do want to pick up my symbiote on 2 targets. That's how I'm going to try to be effective in these fights. So I'll set up my Monstrosity for success, just leave him up here, and when I see fights happening on the map like this one, never mind, I will mule this now. When I see fights happening on the map like this one, all of a sudden I have 2 top hat targets potentially moving in at the same time. Now, Vala did step up really far forward there, but the confidence looks like it was not misplaced as she's continuing to survive. Might I even say thrive in this fight, cutting off the support and isolating the tank there. Monstrosity's doing great. How's this looking down here? It is solved. Perfect. Now this is going to continue to push top lane. And I'm going to try to move up with it at the same time, too. We have 1 tribute right now, so it's going to be a while before our next objective. Middle lane was roughed up a little bit, so was bottom. If our Diablo wants to move in here, I think it's a good idea, and I want to support him. Let's just support with some healing. Oh, I like that Apocalypse. I still like it. And the Sonya leap after, cementing the combo into place. Is it enough damage? Yes, of course it is. Even with the sleep from Ana coming out on Sonya, we had more than enough. Now, with the Monstrosity in the top lane, there's 3 enemies dead. They're not going to be able to stop this. And we can split push our way to victory. I'm going to get on core. Then I'm just going to let that guy go. We're going to top hat our friends here and try to keep them alive, especially our Sonya, who's capable of doing tons of damage to the final objective. If the enemy team wants to focus my Monstrosity, I'll make it a little more difficult for them by moving it around just a little bit, but I do want to do as much damage here as I can, and I am able to shield our Sonya at the same time with my shield. These are going to be my last couple of hits. We did pretty good damage there. Diablo now committing to the fight. Vala looking like she wants to go in too, and I'm running it down top lane at the same time. There's 5% left on core. There goes Diablo. Wait, I wanted to show up. I wanted to slap it. Why can't I slap? There we go. That wasn't bad. 35% of the team's structure damage. I didn't even think I did that much, to be honest with you. Talents I went for today were the Reinforced Carapace, Adrenal Overload, Mule, Evolve Monstrosity, and again, in most other situations, I would have just become another hero, but I was sensing a unique opportunity in this map, and I wanted to capitalize on it. Then we have Soma Transference to help our frontline stay alive, Adrenaline Boost to help them move around, and Hive Mind, so all of our Q talents affect more than one ally at a time. Not too shabby. 125,000 siege damage, 21,000 XP contribution, and 20,000 healing on top of that.